Right here at Washington and Lee. From the beginning, Omicron Delta Kappa has sought to honor exemplary leadership among students, faculty, alumni, and community members. In the spirit of the ODK vision, our Alpha Circle continues to emphasize the cultivation of diverse leadership. In selecting initiates, members of ODK not only recognize past accomplishments, but also demonstrate their confidence in the initiate's commitment to remain active in campus affairs, to uphold spiritual and moral values, and to serve the campus and community. Today, as we so fittingly honor Robert E. Lee's birthday, our new initiates will join over 300,000 other past and present inductees into Omicron Delta Kappa. Each of them has demonstrated outstanding leadership in either scholarship, athletics, service, the arts, or journalism. Many have excelled in more than one area. Whether these initiates are serving the marginalized communities of Rockbridge County, relentlessly rehearsing for a campus performance in the Lenfest Center, setting the standard for athletic competition on the field or in the pool, chasing news stories, or pushing intellectual boundaries in and out of the classroom, they exemplify the kind of honorable, innovative, and holistic leadership that marks Omicron Delta Kappa. Today, we also welcome our honorary initiates to the Alpha Circle. Alfred Harrison, former Vice Chairman of the Board for Alliance Capital Management Corporation. Halif Higginbotham, Jr., Senior Vice President of the College Board. Suzanne Parker Keene, Washington and Lee's Thomas Broadus Professor of English. And Elizabeth Gould Oliver, the Lewis Whitaker Adams Professor of Accounting at Washington and Lee. These extraordinary new members demonstrate the qualities of leadership and service exemplified in the characters of Generals George Washington and Robert E. Lee, and upheld by the founders of Omicron Delta Kappa. I'm incredibly humbled by both the potential demonstrated in the student initiates honored here today, and the noteworthy accomplishments of Mr. Harrison, Mr. Higginbotham, Professor Keene, and Professor Oliver. Their innovation, their passion for excellence, and their integrity inspires a commitment in us to lead our circles of influence with open curiosity, character, and devotion. By their induction today into the Alpha Circle, we recognize that our honorees have succeeded in demonstrating true leadership, unifying the trifecta of personal integrity, a zeal to understand and transform, and a genius for motivating others in pursuit of a shared purpose. Thank you, new members, for your remarkable contributions to our campus, as well as to our local and broader communities. In each of your various endeavors, you have created a personal and lasting legacy. Washington and Lee benefits in countless ways from your commitment to leadership. I look forward to seeing the ways in which the world at large will continue to benefit from your selfless excellence. Thank you. We will now recognize each of our initiates and invite them to the stage for the traditional tapping ceremony. I will begin today with our honorary initiates. I will call each to the stage individually, and I ask that you, the audience, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. We begin with Alfred Harrison of Wayzata, Minnesota. He is the retired Vice Chairman of the Board for Alliance Capital Management Corporation. Mr. Harrison holds a BA and an MA with honors from Christ College, Cambridge University in his native England. Mr. Harrison attended Washington and Lee in 1957 to 58 on a scholarship to commemorate the 350th anniversary of the first English settlement at Jamestown. At Washington and Lee, he played on the soccer team and participated in theater productions. Prior to joining Alliance Corporation in 1978, Mr. Harrison was president, CEO, and co-founder of IDS Advisory Corporation, the pension fund investment management subsidiary of Investors Diversified Services Incorporated. He had previously managed the IDS Progressive Fund, a large mutual fund oriented to capital appreciation. He and his wife have generously supported the arts and championed organizations and institutions focusing on higher education, international health and human services, and children's health. Mr. Harrison is a life trustee of the Minneapolis Institute of Arts, where he was previously chairman of the board, and he is a governing member of the board of the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra. He has served the Center for the Victims of Torture, and he has been a patron of German and French language camps for Concordia language villages. Mr. Harrison is also a former chairman of the board of the University Children's Foundation, an affiliate of the Minnesota Medical Foundation. He was inducted into the Twin Cities Volunteer Hall of Fame in 1998. Hal F. Higginbotham, Jr. hails from New York, New York. He is Senior Vice President of the College Board, a not-for-profit membership organization that includes more than 5,700 schools, colleges, universities, and other educational organizations. He leads and advises on key strategic planning and implementation projects on behalf of the Office of the President. Mr. Higginbotham is a 1968 graduate of Washington and Lee with a major in German. At Washington and Lee, he belonged to Phi Beta Kappa, Phi Eta Sigma, the debate team, and served as president of the Tau Kappa Iota Society. He did graduate work as well at Brown University and the Christian Albrechts Universität of Kiel, Germany. After serving in the Army, Mr. Higginbotham began his career in higher education as a financial aid officer at Georgetown University. During his 30 years at the College Board, he served as vice president for the Student Financial Aid Division and subsequently all enrollment services. In 2002, he became president of the organization's wholly owned internet subsidiary, and in 2005, he assumed responsibility for all technology services as Chief Information Officer, a position he held until 2009. Mr. Higginbotham is currently a member of the Board of Trustees for the New York Metropolitan Library Council, serving as treasurer and sitting on the board's executive committee. He's also been active on its strategic planning committee. He is co-author of the CSS Guide to Implementing Financial Data Processing Systems. In 1975, he received the Rupert P. Huff Golden Quill Award for contributions to the literature on student financial aid. Suzanne Parker Keene hails from our very own Lexington, Virginia. She is the Thomas Broadus Professor of English at Washington and Lee. A member of Phi Beta Kappa, Professor Keene earned an A.B. degree in English and Studio Arts and an A.M. in Creative Writing from Brown University, then an M.A. and Ph.D. in English from Harvard. She taught for 5 years at Yale University before joining the Washington and Lee faculty in 1995. The State Council for Higher Education in Virginia, SCHEV, awarded her an Individual Artist Fellowship in 1997, and she received an NEH Fellowship in 1999. Professor Keene is past president of the International Society for the Study of the Narrative. An active Rotarian in service to the community, Professor Keene received the Paul Harris Fellowship and the William E. Skelton Fellowship from the Lexington Rotary Club. In 2008, she had the honor of delivering the Founders Day Convocation address here in Lee Chapel. The same year, SCHEV presented her with its Outstanding Faculty Award, only one of 12 given that year. Professor Keene is also on the faculty of the Bread Loaf School of English, a summer graduate school of Middlebury College. A highly regarded scholar, she is author of 3 books: Victorian Renovations of the Novel, Narrative Annexes and the Boundaries of Representation, published in 1998, Romances of the Archive in Contemporary British Fiction, published in 2001, and Empathy and the Novel, just published in 2007. She has also published a volume of original poetry entitled Milk Glass Mermaid, and a textbook on narrative form, and Professor Keene was the guest editor of 2 issues of the journal Poetics Today. Elizabeth Gould Oliver also joins us from right here in Lexington. She is the Lewis Whitaker Adams Professor of Accounting here at WNL. She earned an AB in English from Mary Baldwin College, a Master's of Arts in English from the University of Kansas, an MS in Accounting from the University of Virginia, and a PhD in Accounting from Texas A&M University. The head of the accounting department and a former associate dean of the Williams School, Professor Oliver serves as faculty advisor for Washington and Lee Student Consulting. She chaired the President's Committee on Women at WNL and the Universal Study of Incremental Salary Differences. The numerous other committees on which she has given service to the university include the Faculty Executive Committee, the President's Advisory Committee, and the Student Affairs Committee. Her extensive service to the American Accounting Association includes the Office of Secretary-Treasurer of the Financial Accounting and Reporting Section and Chair of the Membership Committee. An impressive resume of community service includes the Rockbridge Choral Society, where Professor Oliver is on the production team and helped found the Friends of the RCS. She served as treasurer of the organization to build the community playground Kids Place, and she sings in the choir and serves on several committees at R.E. Lee Memorial Church. Professor Oliver has compiled an impressive list as well of articles in refereed journals, conference proceedings, and scholarly presentations. As she returns to her seat, please join me in congratulating all of our honorees. We will now recognize our student initiates. I call your attention to the program, in which you will find a detailed listing of their many and varied accomplishments. I will begin by welcoming our student initiates from undergraduate senior class to the stage. As you may have noted in your program, these seniors have already been initiated and are officially members of ODK. They were initiated in the fall so as to give them more time to be active members in the circle. Please hold your applause until all seniors are on stage. Lauren J. Acker. Laura A. Ball. Samuel G. Campbell. Robert S. Day. Bradley D. Harder. Gregory A. Hilliard, Jr. Kelly L. Gerald. Jasmine M. Jimenez. Danielle N. Moorer. Catherine A. McFarland. Catherine A. Michelini. Clark D. Morrison. B. Sorrell Pete. Melissa M. Powell. Olivia M. Riffle. Brooke L. Sutherland. And John A. Wells. As our students and initiates return to their seats, please join me in congratulating them. We will now recognize our initiates from the undergraduate junior class, beginning with Gregory W. Barton. Joseph R. Landry. Joseph J. LaSala. Wade Z. C. Marsh. David S. Phillips. Jennifer B. Ritter. As our junior initiates return from the stage, please join me in congratulating them. Next, we will welcome our student initiates from the Washington and Lee University School of Law, class of 2012. Nagin Faramand. Anthony G. Flynn, Jr. Stephen G. Harper. Edward S. Hillenbrand. Mallory A. Sullivan. And we will continue with the law class of 2013. Claire M. Hagan. Thomas T. McClendon. Samuel C. Vincent. Once again, please join me in congratulating our excellent law. I wish to offer a final congratulation to all of our Omicron Delta Kappa honorary and student initiates. Thank you again for everything that you do for Washington and Lee.
Thank you, Caitlin, and on behalf of the entire Washington and Lee community, I offer also my warmest congratulations to all the new initiates who exemplify the ODK ideals of leadership through service, obligation to others, and individual sacrifice. To our new initiates, please take a moment to look upon the accomplishments of our honorary initiates, my colleagues and friends, Elizabeth Oliver and Suzanne Keene, and our distinguished alumni, Al Harrison and Hal Higginbotham. Take inspiration from them and set your sights high. We will be watching with great interest as you grow as university leaders, as well as leaders in your professions and communities in the years to come. The ceremony will conclude with the voices of the chamber singers performing the Washington and Lee hymn. We are adjourned after its completion. Thank you all very much. Shane? Thank you all very much. We are adjourned.